Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, That's the True Inferno. Here with another Throwback Tunes, and you guessed it, on another Thursday. Now, I asked you guys which Second Chance album I should review this week. Well, on Twitter, Purple Haze by Cameron was the leading vote getter. But on Facebook, Money, Power, and Respect was the leading vote getter there, and it had more votes than Purple Haze did on Twitter. Therefore, I will be reviewing Money, Power, and Respect by the Lox. So, before we get into my review of this album, I gotta make a correction real quick. When I was picking these albums, you know, with Money, Power, and Respect with the Lox, what the album I really should have picked, to be honest with you, was We Are the Streets. So, like many months ago, when I first made the Lox album a choice for you to vote on, it should have been We Are the Streets instead of Money, Power, and Respect. But we got Money, Power, and Respect. That's the winner. I may do We Are the Streets next week. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I already got stuff lined up for next week, so I'll probably do that 2 weeks from now. I just gotta remind myself. But anywho, let's get straight into Money, Power, and Respect, which is the debut album by the Lox, which came out January 13, 1998 under Bad Boy Records. So at this point in time, they were now part of Rough Riders, not yet anyway. Anywho, this album was recorded in 1997, and the producers involved were Sean Combs, as we know, is Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Puffy, aka Puff, you know, so forth and whatnot. Sean John, and you know, so forth and whatnot. But back in those days, he was Puff Daddy. Also, the producers regarding this album are the Lox, the Hitmen, Dane Grease, Swiss Beats, Mitchell Frierson, PK, Jay Garfield, Rob Carter. We got Derek D. Angelette. We also got, okay, we already covered him. And Amen Ra Lawrence. I already mentioned Jay. We also got DJ Irak rather. Did I mention Jeffrey? No, I did not. Jeffrey J. Dub Walker. Let's see. Moving on. Nasheem Merrick. Carlos 6 July Brody. Moving on. Rob R.C. Carter. And there's like, they got a number of producers involved in each track, but they're not listed overall for some reason, which is pretty stupid. Here's another example. Chucky Thompson. We also got Stevie J. Jordan. And I believe that is everybody. Yes, that is. Now, regarding this album, believe it or not, the album found huge success, peaking at number 3 on the US Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B/hip hop albums, and spawned 2 charting singles, Money, Power, and Respect, the same title as the album, and If You Think I'm Jiggy. So we get more on those 2 in a second, but first I want to focus more on how the album as a whole did. So again, it was number 3 in the Billboard 200, number 1 in the US top R&B/hip hop albums. It was number 11th in the Canadian album charts, and it was platinum. Yes, this album was probably their most financially successful album, as it was platinum, and in the MC certifications it was gold. So yeah, you know, charts rise and certification rise. Their debut album did better than We Are the Streets, although I believe We Are the Streets is better. And they recently came out with 50 America is Beautiful. That came out December 16, 2016, which is interesting because 1, I did not know that album existed until now. And 2, it came out under Rock Nation along with D Block, obviously. So I'm gonna have to look that up and see how that is. But going back to their debut album, again, they came out with 2 singles, and those 2 singles came from 21 tracks. Yes, there are 21 tracks on this album. However, 6 of those tracks are skits. So we got the intro and a few others. So, but luckily, I can give you a top 5 and not a top 3. So, let me get on with the name of these tracks. So the first track is called Yonkers Tale, which is the intro, obviously. Again, there's the first skit. Followed by Living the Life, no G in Living. followed by one of the two singles, If You Think I'm Jiggy. I don't remember that track after that. I heard it and I'm like, I don't recall listening to that track. Track number 4 is called The Interview Part 1, and as you guessed, it's a skit, so that's the second one. Track number 5 is the other single, Money, Power, and Respect, featuring DMX and Lil' Kim. If you remember the Locks, you should remember this single. This is, to me, the single that got them on the map, in my opinion. Money, Power, and Respect. Track number 6 is called Get This $, assuming this stands for Get This Money, and that features Puff Daddy. Track number 7 is called Let's Start Rap Over, featuring Carl Thomas, followed by Mad Rapper Interlude, and as you can guess, it is a skit, the third one on this track. Followed by I Wanna Thank You, featuring Kelly Price. You will see that name soon. Track number 10 is called Gon' Be Some Shit, and that one is a Chic Luch solo track, meaning there's no Jada, there's no Styles P, it's just Chic, that's it. Track number 11 is called The Heist Part 1, followed by Not To Be Fucked With, which is another solo track, this one by Styles P. So again, no Chic, no Jada. Track number 13 is called The Setup Interlude, so you guessed it, it's another skit, the fourth one. Followed by Bitches from Eastwick. Then the next track is called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. You can already, I mean, judging by the title, this is a Puff Daddy track, and yes, he is in this one. So this one features Puff Daddy, the second track he's featured in, and I'll get more on his quote unquote him featuring these tracks in a minute. Track number 16 is called All For The Love, and that is a Jadakiss solo track, meaning no Styles and no Chic. Track number 7 is called So Right, featuring, you guessed it, Kelly Price, followed by track number 18, which is called The Snitch Interlude, so that's the fifth skit. Track number 19 is called Everybody Wanna Rat, followed by The Interview Part 2, and yes, that is the sixth and final skit off of this album. And then the last track is called We'll Always Love Big Papa. So, let's get on with the singles. The first single is If You Think I'm Jiggy. This single dropped January 16, 1998. I had no clue about this song, to be honest with you. And the single itself was a success, peaking at number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100, 21 on the Hot R&B/Hip Hop Songs, and number 9 on the Hot Rap Songs. And the song interpolates Rob Stewart's Do You Think I'm Sexy? ? So that is the name of that song that kind of interpolates right there. So moving on, by the end of the year 1998, it was number 100 on the Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Singles and Tracks, and number 36 on the Billboard Hot Rap Singles. So apparently it was a successful single, but again, I don't recall listening to it. Like, if I heard it, prior to me making this video, and it's like, this single don't ring a bell. Granted, it's almost 20 years from now, but still though, at the same time, I'm like, it still don't ring a bell. I remember the next single, Money, Power, and Respect, but I don't remember that first single. So anywho, Money, Power, and Respect is the second single and the last single off of this album of the same name, by the way. And this song features DMX, who contributed the song's fourth verse and final verse actually, and Lil' Kim, who did the chorus. And the track samples Dexter Ranson's 1970 song, New Beginning. This track came out March 17, 1998. And Money, Power, and as you guessed it, Money, Power, and Respect was an even bigger success than If You Think I'm Jiggy, reaching number 18th on the Hot 100 and topping the Hot Rap Singles charts at number 1 to date. The song, not to date, but number 1 to date. The song remains the group's most successful single and was certified gold by the RIAA for sales of 500,000 copies on April 28, 1998. And this song appeared on The Source Presents Hip Hop Hits Volume 2 Music inspired by Scarface, Survival of the Illest, and Bad Boys Greatest Hits. And wow, okay, and even if y'all, for y'all wrestling fans out there, if y'all remember Jazz, who was the female wrestler in ECW and in WWE, she used this song in ECW. So that was her interest theme, which is pretty interesting. I kind of want to look that up now. But anywho, this single, as I said, was number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 8 on the Billboard Hot R&B/Hip Hop Singles and Tracks, number 1 on the Billboard Hot Rap Singles. Now here's the new stuff. Number 3 on the Billboard Hot Dance Music/Maxi Single Sales, and number 36 on the Billboard Rhythmic Top 40. By the end of the year, it was 78 on the US Billboard Hot 100, and as I mentioned, it was certified gold. That's just the single. So yeah, there you go with that. Now let me get on to my favorite tracks off this album, starting from the bottom on up. And again, we're not featuring the skits because there's no music and they're short and just a bunch of people talking about blah blah blah. And ironically enough, to me, the worst track off this album is If You Think I'm Jiggy. I heard this single and I'm like, okay, yeah. Moving on, Can't Stop, Won't Stop. That single right there needs a better snare. It just needs a better snare. And Get This Money, and both of those songs featured Puff Daddy. They near the bottom of the list. And he don't even rap it. He just go, yeah, take that. And then sings perform parts of the hook. Not perform the entire hook, but perform parts of the hook. So it's like, why even feature him in this? Like, why even mention that he was in it? Because it was on the song where you can hear him go, yeah, we miss you. Take that. Stuff like that. I'm like, we don't need, they shouldn't, we don't need them to say featuring Puff Daddy. If all they go do is go, yeah, take that. And then sing or perform parts of the hook. So, and then, and I'm not putting those two tracks near the bottom of the list because he was in it or he did that. But, the track wasn't all that impressive to me. Moving on up, The Heist Part 1, followed by Everybody Wanna Rap. Let's Start Rap Over, Living a Life. That was actually not bad, Living a Life. And then, of course, So Right featuring Kelly Price was pretty cool. Obviously, Money, Power, and Respect featuring DMX and Lil' Kim was good. Really, really good, obviously. And All for the Money, which was the Jadakiss solo, was really good, but would have been better if it had a better snare. Now, let me get on to my top 5. Number 5, We'll Always Love Big Popper. And the beat is really cool. The thing is, they could have used a different melody. Maybe, I don't know. It seemed to be a bit more positive. Like, you can tell by the pitch. Like, how you got, like, for all you music players, piano players, you got, like, A major, A minor, C major, major and C minor, whatever. This one was more on the major side, and it should have been in the minor side. And if it was more on the minor side, that track would have been really, really dope. Obviously, this is the Locks, even though this is their debut album, but still, this is the Locks, so the lyricism is dope. But this track would have been so much better if the melody was different. If it was a tad, I'm gonna say darker because they talking about Big Popper, but it was a tad bit more positive, like as far as how the melody sound that is. But it was still good as it is, to the point where it's the 5th best track off this album. Number 4, the 4th best track off this album, going to be some shit. And this is the Sheik Luch solo track. And that one's pretty dope. The beat was out cold with that one. But number 3, not to be fucked with, Styles P solo track was better. It was really, really dope. And originally was my number 2. And if you would have listened to it, what's that song called? I think this is a Detroit Only Thing. I could be wrong. But if y'all remember, that song right, that Styles P solo track, sound like it samples that. But when I looked it up, it apparently didn't mention that, or maybe because nobody listed it or whatever. But it sounded like it sampled that. I forgot what it's called, and I actually got the song and the many different versions of it. But getting back on topic, this track, the Styles P solo track, was really dope, and it was really my number 2 as far as the second best track off this album. But I bumped it down to number 3 because of what took over at the second best track off this album. That is Bitches from Eastwick. I'm like, that track, the beat was really dope. It really was, man. And y'all know I like them mellow out joints. And that's what all 5 of these tracks are, mellow out joints. And to some degree, even All for the Love, which is the Jadakiss solo, the 6th best track off this album, was somewhat of a solo mellow out joint. But Bitches from Eastwick was really, really that dope. And after listening to it and listening to Not to Be Fucked With a second time, I'm like, I gotta bump that Styles P solo number 3 in favor of Bitches from Eastwick. Now, you probably want to, okay, I mentioned number 3, number 2, switching them around, but what was number 1? I Want to Thank You, featuring Kelly Price. Dog, this joint sounds like a Mobb Deep joint. I was like, bruh, And I'm looking at who produced this. Now seeing Merrick, I'm like, man, this sounds like something Mobb Deep would use, man. And after listening to that, now I want to listen to Mother Music. So y'all know how I feel about Mother Music. But yeah, I want to thank you. The best track off this album, without question. Now, let me give you some professional ratings. And there's only one. It's from All Music. They gave this 3.5, not 3.5, but 3 out of 5 stars. And that's it. So, with that out the way, what do I think about this album? Well, the Lox apparently only have 3 albums. This one, We Are the Streets, and 50 America is beautiful. And I guess they had something else called like EPs, like the Trinity and the Trinity Second Son. I'm not sure if those count. But anywho, I have not yet heard 50 America. I do have We Are the Streets. And I believe that one is better than Money, Power, and Respect. But at the same time, do not sleep on Money, Power, and Respect. It's still a good album. I'm going to give this one a 3.75 out of 5. And I recommend you download it and keep it. The album is that good for you to keep, and download for free. Don't spend money on it, but I recommend you download it and keep it. It's a pretty good debut album for the Lox, if I do say so myself. It got a pretty good number of good tracks on here. Like I said, I want to say it's an underrated Lox album to some degree, but the single Money, Power, Respect helps this album, because that was a good single. And of course, that was actually the 7th best track off this album. So the top 6 that I gave y'all, along with So Right, which is the 8th best track off this album, carry this whole entire album. I just wish they could have toned down with the skits, used some different snares in some cases. Like even I mentioned this for All for the Love, excuse me, and obviously Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And then don't mention featuring Puff Daddy if he's not even rapping on any of the verses or anything like that. Now, what should I review for next week? Here are your choices, as we are still on the Second Chance fiasco. So your choices are Let There Be Eve by Eve, Slum Village by Slum Village, and speaking of this group, The Infamous by Mobb Deep, and Extension Level Event by Busta Rhymes. So let me read that one more time. Let There Be Eve by Eve, Slum Village by Slum Village, Mobb Deep with The Infamous, and Busta Rhymes with Extension Level Event, or ELE. So yeah, vote now on my Facebook. If y'all friends with me on Facebook, follow one of the 3 groups where the poll will be available, or vote on Twitter. The link to that will be in the description box below. Y'all know who this is. With all that said, this is your boy, the new Jay Gatsby, aka Jim Ryan II, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.